Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is having a great day today. Um, and I hope everybody's been safe and doing what you got to do to remain safe, and just being with your loved ones at this time. So I want to talk a little bit about two things. First, I want to talk about force to vote, hashtag force to vote. Then I want to talk about what happened on January 6th. A little bit about both. In a future video, I will talk about the whole Nancy Pelosi 60 Minutes interview. So when it comes down to forced vote, I really think that AOC, the squad, are full of shit. I think I've said this in a previous video. They're just fucking weak as fuck. Like, they're a fucking bunch of pussies. And the fact that people are like, oh my god, don't talk to them like that, they're our allies. They're not our allies. Just because you don't take corporate money does not... Just because you don't take corporate money doesn't make you a progressive, because you're still supporting the people who do. You're backing up the legislation of the people who do support the corporations. That is why we had the CARES Act, because you have people like Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell who are for the corporations, but then you have people like AOC and Bernie Sanders who claim to be progressives, but they support the CARES Act. So you can't sit there and tell me you support that you're a progressive, but you're backing up the people who take corporate money. That doesn't add up. That doesn't add up. So I think that that's a big thing. I think that they could have used their leverage, and they should have used their leverage. When I say they, I mean the progressives. They should have held back on their vote until Nancy Pelosi put Medicare for All on the floor. After she put Medicare for All on the floor, then you get to find out who is a true progressive, who's actually fighting for the people. The fact that they knew that the Democrats didn't support healthcare, Medicare for All during the middle of a pandemic. They knew that, which is why they didn't hold back their vote, because they knew that the Democratic Party did not support Medicare for All. Not in its entirety. So that shows that they know how messed up the Democratic Party is, yet they don't care, because it's still a part of it. You cannot change the party within the party. You don't change the party changes you. And I don't understand why people don't get that. You don't change the Democratic Party. And it's crazy because you have people like AOC who, when she first started, said this exact same thing. There is no left party. There is the Republican Party, which is a right-wing party, and then there is the Democratic Party, which is a centrist party. There's no left party anymore. She said this herself when she was running back in 2018. And I find it very strange that now it's like, oh my god, we can't push for this. But this is something that you ran on. You, Ilhan Omar, Talia Rashid, Roka, you guys all ran on this. Yet you guys are saying this can't be done. You're not even trying to do it. Yet you have people during the middle of a pandemic who are dying. Who are dying. At this point, over 375,000 Americans have died. Millions of people on the verge of losing their homes and their jobs. And you mean to tell me you didn't even fight for this? I live in District 15 in the Bronx. I know exactly what goes on there. I see it every day. Okay? There are homeless people. There are drunks. There are people who are on drugs, who literally, as soon as you get off on Fordham Road on the D train, that is what you see. That you see transsexuals prostituting themselves. This is what you see when you get off of Fordham Road on the D train. Okay? So I'm so tired of people talking about, oh, don't talk about the Democratic Party. You cannot talk about Ilhan Omar and AOC because they're our allies. They're not our allies. They are not. I don't understand why. And I love Kyle Kalinske, but they're not our allies. You may have started something that ended up being the complete opposite of what you wanted it to be. And it's okay to say, you know what, we fucked up. Because you guys did. You and Cenk Uygur, you guys messed up when you guys founded the Justice Democrats. And it's not to say you guys fucked up, but I feel like not enough work was done to groom them. The people who were nominated. The people who ran as Justice Democrats, they weren't groomed enough. So they didn't have a backbone to fall on. That's what it was. So then when you do have a thing like force to vote on the table, you have people like AOC talking about Jimmy Dore is like promoting violence, knowing that can get his channel thrown off of YouTube. Like, she knew exactly what she was doing. That's why I don't fuck with AOC no more. I don't. Or anybody in the squad. They're not for us. I wish that people could understand that. They think it's a personal attack. They think it's gender. They think it's ethnicity. It has nothing to do with those things. It has to do with what they have shown us, what they have shown me as somebody who is a progressive. And then you have people like the Young Turks who are going after Jimmy Dore. And for me, it's crazy. It's crazy because Cenk Uygur and TYT, I actually, side note, I actually ended my subscription with TYT yesterday, well, this morning. But, like, you guys are the ones who took donor money from Clinton donor money. You took Clinton donor money to help your channel grow. So you mean to tell me all this time before you got that money, you said, oh, get money out of politics, get money out of politics, get money out of politics, because when you put money into when people put money into politics, they expect something in return. So you mean to tell me you expect for us to believe, after you telling us for years, that when you take money from corporations, it can change, it can influence your vote or your idea, or your message. So you mean to tell me, after you said that for years, we're supposed to sit here and expect for you to not do the same thing? You took $24 million from Clinton donors, and you expect for us to believe that that's not going to change the way you're presenting your stories, the way your message is now? Of course it's going to change it. And of course we're going to be able to see that. But see, you want to just fight and scream. You never want to admit when you're wrong. You and Anna Kasperi, the fact that you guys still keep talking about Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is no longer in Congress. And I want to talk about Tulsi Gabbard in another video, because I actually love Tulsi Gabbard and I support her on like 90% of what she does. When there is something that I don't agree with her on, I actually do have backlash. I actually do have critiques. But for the most part, I agree with everything that Tulsi Gabbard says. Like, that's why when people are like, oh my God, like you're not voting for you're not voting for Hillary Clinton back in 2016, or you're not voting for this person, it's sexism, it's racism. It's like, no, I voted for Tulsi Gabbard in 2020. I voted for a woman in 2020. I did. May not have been Kamala Harris, but I voted for a woman, and I voted for a woman of color. Y'all forget that Tulsi Gabbard is Samoan, but hey, you guys don't want to talk about that. You know? So that's the forced to vote issue. Now, the issue that happened on the 6th of January, I feel like people are putting way too much of what happened on Trump. Yes, Trump needs to be held responsible to a certain extent for what happened. He does. I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't. At the end of the day, when do we start holding the adults accountable for their actions? AOC, Ilhan Omar, all these people are going so hard on impeachment, knowing that he will not get removed from office. He's not going to get removed from office. So my thing is, you're fighting so hard to impeach Donald Trump, knowing he will not get taken out of office, but you didn't fight this hard for Medicare for all? I'm confused. I'm like really confused about that. I'm confused. As a progressive, as somebody who voted for these people, I'm confused. You know, again, Donald Trump does hold some bearing to this. Yes, he does. He really does. I think Donald Trump should never run for office again. I think it's amendment, like 14, something like that, where Congress doesn't need the majority of the vote. They can make it so he basically never, ever runs for any political office again. I don't think that has any bearing on his children. If they want to run for office, I just think it has to do with Trump. But yes, he does deserve that. But at the end of the day, these adults should be held for their own actions. He did not tell them to sit there and fucking and break shit and vandalize shit. Like, when he tweeted, that was not a part of his tweet at all. Again, not to say his tweet didn't stir the pot. It did, but his tweet did not say that. So my thing is, like, why do we put so much on Trump? No, these are fucking grown-ass people. Grown-ass people. But we keep blaming Trump. I'm like so over it. Like, why can't we just blame the people? They're the ones who did the shit. It's crazy. To me, it's crazy. This is how I'm starting my day. Coffee. But yeah, I think it's crazy that we're just sitting here blaming Trump for everything that happened. Meanwhile, you know, he gets banned from Instagram and this and Twitter. Meanwhile, he didn't get banned from Twitter because of what happened on the 6th. That's not why he got banned, but people don't know that. And I'm gonna do a separate video on that, but that's not why he got banned. He got banned basically saying because he's not gonna be in the inauguration of Joe Biden And it stirred up a whole bunch of controversy, even though Joe Biden said, yes, this is the one thing we agree on. Joe Biden agreed with Donald Trump on that. It's crazy. To me, this is just to me, I'm just an average person at this moment who may be into politics a little bit more than others. But to me, it's crazy because it's like, we're blaming Donald Trump for the shit that everybody's doing. What the fuck? Like, these are fucking grown-ass motherfucking people. They should be in jail for years. For years. Point blank, the end of the period. They are grown people. What the fuck? The police officers who were involved, the people who were involved in setting this up and doing all that, yes, they should be held accountable. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to make another video soon, but I gotta go. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Deuces.